Because what can't work is we all do what the hell we want to. That can't work. There has to be order. There has to be structure. And coming from the military, hierarchy and structure is what that is built on. You don't just make a battle plan and say, hey, just get a gun, go out there and cap some shit.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. No, it's not hard to fool me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah.
There has to be a plan. So if marriage doesn't work, cool. What does work to get the kind of outcomes you would want?
In the place where I'm at right now, or even where my mindset is, I'm not really looking for a man, if that makes sense. I'm not really interested in that relationship, only because I know that how can I put this? Let's just say I can't be or offer what the typical man would want.
Okay.
So I don't really feel like with what, I don't want to say today's age because I ain't met all men, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to like put a bias or like a whole general statement about it. But from what I've experienced, it's just not something that I'm interested in right now.
Okay. So now, Carl, you said you want a couple of kids.
Yeah.
But you're not necessarily wanting marriage.
Yeah.
How would you see your life being if it wasn't married with your children? How does that structure look?
If I was married?
Well, if you have kids, for the outcome you said you want, by 50, you want to have kids. So what would that structure look like?
With the healthy co-parenting.
Would you live in the same house?
Not ideally. Or maybe a house, like when I thought about it, when I sat down and I thought about it for myself, I felt like maybe a house where we have separate bedrooms to where either one of us can take space when we need to. Because I've always found it bizarre to like live your life completely single and then immediately like you have this one person that like you're just with now.
So you live in the same house but in separate rooms?
Not all the time. But you know, like, cause I'm a person that likes to be alone a lot. So there's gonna be times where I definitely don't want to be around you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not personal, and it has nothing to do with that. But yeah.
Okay, so are you talking about having one residence or multiple?
Multiple, ideally.
Okay, and this is where it comes down to money. I mean, it always comes down to money. We have all these.
I'm glad you emphasize that.
Because what I hear more often than women today with women is, I can't be around a man, the structure, it's like, if you listen to most women, you're the freest you've ever been, but you sound like you're the most depressed. You can do whatever the hell you want to. The world is free, you can walk down the street and feel relatively safe. But you gotta understand that you want the children, you said 2 kids, if you want to have an upper class kid, let me give you these numbers. Middle class children, the raise for a child from 0 to adulthood is $284,000 a year per child. So you want $500,000 to $350,000 worth of kids. That's 3 kids. The kids you're talking about having are $500,000 each. So you want $1 million worth of kids. 2 kids is $1 million. Then you're talking about multiple residences. Where's all this money gonna come from? That's all I'm ultimately saying for everybody. Where is this money going to come from? Or would it be better to learn how to get the fuck along with one another like everybody else has done for the last 10,000 years? Because you can't have it all. I can't have it all. You can't, nobody can. Unless you are rich, unless you are going to be making big money, you cannot have living apart together. There's a term. Where's the money gonna come from? When you think about relationships, do you think about it on those terms, on where the money comes from? Huh?
It's definitely a part of the topic.
What do you say when you think about relationship?
Yeah, when you think about relationship when you think about, when you're dealing with somebody, because like as a single woman,
Marriage, I think about financials more so.
And from what I recall, you think about what you don't want to be responsible for, and whether you can articulate it the way I do or not, you know how you feel you want a man to come. You know you want him to provide to where you can kind of.
I can kind of have some sort of cushion if I want to.
Right.
have a baby. Maybe I can't
Okay.
work for a
All
little
right.
while. Maybe I want to focus on this or that.
And what I want you ladies to understand is just as nuanced as you all have been, the men you want, all of that, all want something too. And just like you feel sovereign in your right to think it's okay for you to be able to get what you want, men feel the same way. I'm okay with marriage. Marriage isn't the problem. You guys are all under 30. So you've grown up in an area of immediacy, a lot of options. You've grown up in an era where it feels like you have more choice than you really have and more freedom than you really do. There's a lot of structure. And at the end of the day, what you're gonna find is, especially for women, the way nature works, you have to get the bigger parts of your life figured out sooner if you want children. Because life makes choices for women before they make choices for men. You said you didn't feel like you should have to tailor your needs around the man you need.
I want there to be mutual ground and good compromise if I'm in a relationship, which I don't want to be. But if I'm in
Okay.
a relationship, I do want there to be good compromise. However, I want to be able to fully support myself with my goals and what I want to do with my career, to where I'm in the position to where I don't need another person.
Okay.
It would be nice. Having that other
Okay.
person is more like a luxury, like a good
Okay.
thing, like, having ice cream after you just ate dinner. That's what I want it to be like. Not necessarily to need somebody.
Okay.
So
So what do you by age 50, what is your profession? I didn't ask it earlier.
I want to be a producer for anime and cartoons.
Like One Punch.
Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
One Punch, I want to be
Yu-Gi-Oh.
producing my own books
Okay.
and my own anime, but I illustrate, so I want
Okay.
animation.
Yeah. At the height of your career, what do you anticipate you'll be earning annually?
The height of my career and what I can do.
What do you anticipate?
Annually?
Not probability, not
Annually?
probability, not possibility, probability.
Okay, I don't know about annually, but I know what I can say. I know that I'm anticipating my net worth to be at least $80 million.
80 million.
My favorite
80
producer,
million.
my favorite artist for manga and anime, Yumiko Takahashi, she's worth $80 million, and that's my goal.
Okay.
So
80 million.
that's what I thrive for.
Uh-huh. And what is the average?
The average, like anime,
Uh-huh.
30 million or more.
No, the average annual salary?
No, net worth. That's why I said I don't know about
Okay.
annual.
Well, the thing is, you have before you get in. Okay.
Yeah.
We always we can look at the outliers. But what would your proper title be in your job? What would be your profession?
Well, I don't.
Would you?
This word for it is but mangaka.
Manga what?
Mangaka. That's what it's called. It's like someone who makes manga, comic books, and anime. It's called mangaka. I don't know the Japanese word. I don't know. Anime producer.
Manga, anime.
Mangaka.
But there's a job title, anime producer.
Yeah.
All right. So we can always point to Jeff Bezos and everybody else like that. Top earner, the average is $58,987. It's the average for a manga, for anime producer salary. It's the average. The 75th percentile is 61,000. The lower 25% is 36,000. Top earners, you're talking about a top 10% is 100,000. Big gap from 80 million net. That's ridiculously, infinitesimally small. It happens, but just like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and all these people, what is the average? Because that's the only thing you can really plan on. Because I don't want to get into your personal, but is anybody here earning over 6 figures annually? Okay. So the likelihood of going from here to high 8 figures is negligible. It's possible, but it's also possible to get rich by hitting the lottery and Powerball. And for you, in your particular case, not wanting to need anybody, it's going to become a matter of ultimate necessity. You have to live off of what you earn. What's the likelihood of you? And here's the thing, Are you planning your life and living your life in a way to where you're going to be able to live comfortably off of your earnings that you're actually making, not anticipated?
I'm not like, I don't want a lot of luxury.
Okay.
I'm not
Now-
blue like that. I would like a small little house. Like I said, I'm with my cat.
Mhm.
Small little house with my cat. I don't care if I have millions of dollars. I don't need a big mansion. What's all that room and space for me to run? Like,
But remember what I said, if you were making $50,000, you're almost perfect for what I said. 50,000, 58,000. You would still be short. You'd still have almost a $500,000, $600,000 shortfall. So on one hand, you're saying, I don't need all this money. Then you talk about 80 million. And see, and here's the difference between how men and women think. We know we got to be a hell of a lot more practical about what it is, because we can't marry somebody who's going to pay our bills, not the average rank and file man. If we miss or we make a misstep, the street's kind of out there waiting for us. So we understand that homelessness is a hell of a lot closer to most men than men than to women. And my thing is today with women is many women today want to be free. Freedom comes at a cost. Can you pay that cost? What you're talking about doing puts you right in line with the average middle class American, being able to live roughly paycheck to paycheck. No real savings, having little to no cushion.
that's where investments come from.
But you can only invest what you earn. See, oftentimes when I talk to people, especially when I talk to women, I hear how they anticipate getting money is some sort of entrepreneurialism through real estate or stocks or crypto. And that's just more Jack and the Beanstalk. It requires input, currency. You can't make money from investments without having the money to put into it. Where's the money going to come from?
We thought